Are you drinking a bloody?
No, it's my leftover cocktail. It has like cranberry sauce in it.
Oh, really?
Mixed with vodka. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Because I don't eat that with like my food because that's disgusting.
Is it the jelly kind, or like does it have cranberry chunks in it?
It has cranberry chunks in it.
Oh, nice. So it's like fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah,
did you mix it with?
nice.
Like
I don't-
soda water?
Vodka.
It's
Vodka
You're,
and,
you're drinking
some-
a cranberry sauce and vodka.
It's my trimmings.
Season's trimmings. I don't know.
It's my leftover Fixins.
Oh my God.
Like, I would never put that on my plate, but I would make a cocktail with
I'm
it.
glad you had leftover cranberry sauce and not gravy.
It's like a savory cocktail.
Ew, you know when gravy gets that like film on the top? Like the gravy skin?
Yeah, all congealed.
Ugh, that's gross. Oh, yeah.
I'm Erin.
I'm Nicole.
Welcome to Dude That's Fucked Up, y'all.
Welcome, y'all. I feel like we just had Thanksgiving. We had nice Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving.
Hope you guys did too.
Yeah, I feel like everyone was very
Yeah.
active in the Facebook group because they were like have time off or whatever. So like people were posting lots of stuff. It was very fun.
They're trying to take a break from the family.
Yeah, they're like, I'll be right back, and then they like go in the bushes and go on the Facebook group. Their grandma's like, "What are you looking at?" It's like, "Oh, nothing, Grandma." It's like, I don't know, something, the toe cocktail or whatever.
Yeah. Yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good Thanksgiving. I have had a lot of stomach issues because all I've been eating is like green bean casserole and like, I don't know, gravy. I don't know.
Oh, gravy lubes everything up, so everything's urgent.
Everything's very urgent.
There's we went to my mom's house and there's a pool there, and we went in the pool and there's a sign, that's like, if you've had active diarrhea in the last 48 hours, like, please don't use this pool. And we went swimming, and then Pete was like, "Oh no, my stomach." And we were like, "Oh no, are you active?" And then he got out and had diarrhea, but he didn't get back in. I think the pool activated it. The pool like activated it.
Yeah, because somebody with active diarrhea got in, and it activated him. It was like a chemical reaction.
And then everybody knew he had diarrhea.
He's like, "Oh, no, I can't. I don't want to get my hair wet." And they're like, "No, it's because you have diarrhea." Or like, "Oh, the chlorine's really drying my skin out," when really it's diarrhea. Oh my God. Oh. That's one of my favorite pictures from my wedding is standing in front of that sign.
Did I make you do that? I was like, get a picture.
Probably.
Yeah. Like,
I think the photographer thought it was really funny too. So.
Yeah, because we were laughing at it.
Yeah, because we're all like standing there waiting to walk out, and it was like, "Look at this sign." It was great.
Like,
anyway.
No active diarrhea. Anyway, you're about to say I do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do not have diarrhea.
I guess, what kind of business do we have? I don't know if we have any.
I don't know. I've been pretty tuned out from all my responsibilities for the past couple days, so I'm still trying to stay on that train of not caring about anything.
Yeah, same. I know. I'm like, I should have been doing research like yesterday and today and probably the day before yesterday, but I mostly did it last night and this morning, so whatever. We do what we can. I was busy writing a holiday sketch for a show that I submitted it to, Santa's Sex Toy Workshop, it's obscene, and I don't know that it's all that appropriate, and I don't know if they're gonna take it, but it would be funny if we got to see it on a stage. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I've just been cooking a lot and cleaning my fucking house like constantly. So it's just a lot of, it's just constant, you know? And I can't imagine having more than 3 people here.
And your house is big. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we have a family of 4 staying with us with 2 small children, and it's just like a war zone out there. And I'm like, they've been so good. They're like eating at the table and stuff, you know, and like obviously their parents are like being very like sensitive to oh no, don't they're being so good, but the kiddos are, you know, it's kind of like
they're not in their regular routine and environment.
Yeah. So. You know what's so funny is
it's rough.
It's so funny because like kids have no shame about anything. Like we were at the pool and my nephew got out and he's like, I have to pee. And so like he does his little pee dance and then he like runs to go pee and he comes back and he's wearing like this like wetsuit looking thing and it's bright yellow, but it's like to protect him from the sun. It's like a UV swimsuit thing. It's really cute. And then he gets back in the pool and then literally 2 seconds later he like jumps back out and his mom like runs him up to us and he tells everybody, he's like, I forgot to poop. I forgot to poop. And we were like, I'm like, oh, you better go. He's like, yeah. And he's like running to the bathroom holding his butthole. And I'm like, oh my God. I won't even poop like in public. And he's like screaming it to everyone.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, his kids are funny.
Aw. Well, that's so fun. Any other things we should talk about before we get to the episode?
No, I was going to say today's episode is a Patreon sponsored episode. So I guess this is business related because if you're a Patreon of this podcast or a patron of this podcast through Patreon, you can get certain content access and rewards and all this stuff. And one of the rewards for the membership called the HERF is Le HERF.
The highest level.
It's the highest
Le
level.
HERF.
Le HERF. Mm-hmm. It's the highest level, and the, I guess, like, big thing is you get basically a sponsored episode. So today's episode is dedicated and sponsored by Mackenzie, and it's all about her.
Mackenzie.
And we talked to her on one of the monthly Google Hangouts that you can be a part of through Patreon. And we were like, oh, like, what do you want us to talk about? And she was like, ooh, aliens. And we were like, okay.
I always want to talk about aliens, so this is great.
Yeah, Erin's been wanting to do an alien pod for an alien episode for a long time. So yeah, she gave us something specific to talk about, which is really cool. And I didn't know about this, so it was fun to do the research.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, and then I think another part of Mackenzie's sponsored episode is we've met through Facebook Live on the group and also through our weekly hangout. We've met her boyfriend Will, and he's kind of, I don't know if he listens, but he participates. He's
very supportive of her listening to the podcast. Let's just say.
Yeah, and he always says hi.
And he's but every time we've interacted, he's been just so sweet and so lovely. So shout out to Will. Yeah. And he sent us a really quite disturbing story, and I will read it and preface it with the knowledge that this is a good person, and
we think. I mean, we don't know him, but
so, yeah,
okay,
yeah, he seems like a really wonderful dude. So
I haven't read this yet, so I'm excited.
Shall I read you the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, I'm not going to say what the subject line is. I'm just going to read because it might clue you in.
Oh, it gives it away?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so He says, per Mackenzie's request, here's my story of Merlin. Okay. After graduating high school, I worked at a veterinary hospital for about 5 years. I would assist the doctor with appointments and surgeries, but my main job was working in our boarding facility. It was a small hospital, so we knew most of the people and their animals, and one of the most notorious dogs that we would board there was Merlin.
Aww.
Merlin was a 100-plus pound Irish wolfhound. Do you know what Irish wolfhounds are?
I don't know what that is.
Google it really quick so you can get an image in your mind.
Okay, wait. Wolfhound?
These dogs are, Irish wolfhound.
Irish?
They're big. Wolfhound. They're huge. They're massive dogs, and they have like gross wiry hair.
Ew, yeah, okay.
And they drool, and they're kind of scary, but they come up to your like past your hip.
Oh.
So.
Okay. Oh
yeah,
my God. Oh, there's if it's on its hind legs, it's taller than a man.
Yeah, they're scary.
Oh my God.
And they're huge animals.
Okay.
So he goes on, Merlin was a 100-plus pound Irish wolfhound that loved to constantly roll around in his own piss and shit.
Oh.
During Merlin's stays there, I'd start every day off by giving Merlin a bath and scrubbing his cage because both would be completely covered in shit.
Oh.
I'd also end the day the same way since he couldn't take a shit without diving right in.
That was like part of his process.
He was also, that was like his life. Like that was his daily routine, was shitting and then rolling in it.
Oh my God.
Every single time you take a shit, apparently. He was also a very energetic dog, so he would love to jump on you as soon as you opened his cage. So I, too, would usually have a bit of Merlin shit on me.
Oh.
He constantly drooled and would flip his water dish over, which would mix all the fecal matter, giving his shit that nice pastiness that really worked its way into his hair and your clothes. All in all, Merlin was a real asshole and was hated by us all.
Oh, Merlin.
Oh, he just, like, is gross. He's just a gross one.
Oh, God.
Like, I've owned dogs that, like, they get overexcited and roll around and shit every now and then, but that's, like, a rare thing.
But their own?
This sounds like...
Not usually their own.
Like it's like dog... No. This is wild.
Oh, my God. Sorry, what were you going to say?
So No, I was just going to say, like, dogs, they do this sometimes, but, like, not every fucking time they take a shit.
Oh, God.
There's something wrong.
That's so gross.
During this one particular stay, I had been dealing with this routine for a good week, and on the last night there, I was determined to find another way, determined to find a way to get Merlin to not ruin another morning for me. I thought that maybe he was just overstimulated by all the other dogs, so maybe if he wasn't around them, things would be better. We had a few cages inside the hospital away from all the boarding dogs that we used for animals after surgery. I decided that when I took everyone in that night, that was where I would put Merlin. I also thought that maybe if I got there early enough, I'd get there before he crapped in his cage, and maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have to deal with shitty Merlin. I arrived that morning at 5 a.m. and immediately ran to Merlin, hopeful that my theory was correct. But as I arrived at his cage, I immediately saw that I had failed. Oh, had I failed.
Oh, no.
Merlin showed me that morning that he was not one to be defeated. I stood there in total disbelief. There in front of me was Merlin, completely covered in shit and dead. Very fucking dead.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I know.
No.
Oh.
No.
He was laying down with all four legs completely stretched out and as stiff as could be. People often ask at this point how he died. I truly believe this was Merlin's final fuck you to me. I called the doctor, who also owned the place, and told him the situation and asked what I should do. He told me that in the 20 plus years they've owned the place, that this was the first time that a boarding dog had ever died. Thanks, Merlin. As far as what I had to do, that's when my morning went from bad to fucked. quote, clean him up and put him in a room and we'll just wait for the owners to pick him up. That's when I realized that not only had my hopes of a poop-free morning faded, but I was now facing the reality that I was going to have to bathe a dead dog. Oh my God.
Oh no.
This is so shitty.
Oh no.
As I mentioned earlier, I know this is making me so sad.
Oh no.
But I also wasn't constantly covered with shit, so maybe.
I mean, maybe it had like an illness or something. Yeah, because that's weird.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I had put Merlin in the surgery cages, so I had to drag Merlin by his feet through half the hospital all the way to the back where the tub was. I then picked him up, threw him in the tub, and gave his shampoo and rinse to a dead dog, covered in poop and stiff with rigor mortis. Oh my God! I then threw him in a cage with a dryer to dry off, while I took care of the rest of the animals who weren't assholes. Once dry, I dragged him back through the place and put him on a table in one of the appointment rooms. We all waited, nervous that morning, for his owners to show up, frightened of what their reaction would be to come home from vacation, only to find out that their dog had passed while in our care. I knew right away when they arrived because I heard wails of the wails of the husband. My doggy, my doggy. I ran up and saw him crying over Merlin, screaming over and over, my doggy. And while I should have felt bad, the guy kept kissing the body, and all I could think... Oh my God. The guy kept kissing the body, and all I could think about was what I had to do only a few hours earlier. Oh my God, dude. His wife was up by the front desk, so I went there to say something to her and was surprised to see she had a very different demeanor than her husband. Oh, man. She just smiled at me and said, how much do I owe you? Apparently, she hated that fucking dog, too.
Is that the end? Oh,
yeah.
That was good. Whoa.
Wow. Oh, man. Oh, man. That makes me sad.
But it just died. It wasn't like anyone's fault.
No, I think it sounds like it was an old dog who probably lost a lot of maybe bowel function towards the end.
And it was clearly like senile or something if it was rolling in its own shit, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing about when you have a dog that's like maybe it wasn't used to a crate, but dogs don't shit where they sleep. Like if like they just won't. It's not even about training them. It's like that's just they know not to do that
unless unless they have active diarrhea, and then they can't help it.
Unless they have maybe the wife poisoned the dog.
Maybe she was like, maybe it was like Munchausen, and she was like slowly poisoning the dog every day.
Yeah. And then she like planned it so that it would get its final dose of poison, and then it would just shit everywhere and then die, and she wouldn't have to deal with any of it.
Yeah, and then she'd get off scot-free.
The boarding.
Yeah, they would blame them. Oh,
I don't know this woman, but I think she killed the dog and made somebody else deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, but that's, there's like something sweet about like its final bath and stuff. And that was nice that Will was still like taking care of it when.
Yeah, he was begrudgingly taking care of it because that's a huge job.
And it's covered in shit.
And it's covered in shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
Like it's still sweet in a way that like
everyone,
even animals deserve to have like some respect and like
dignity.
Dignity when they go.
Dognity. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Poor doggy.
Poor doggy.
Poor doggy. My doggy.
Oh. All right.
Oh,
well,
poor guy. Well, that's a sad one, but it's very fucked up.
Yeah. Very fucked up. But a good story. And thank you, Will. Hopefully you listen also.
Yeah, R.I.P. Merlin, and hopefully nobody has to deal with shitty dogs.
Yeah,
all the time, like
literal shitty dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. Hope we didn't offend anybody too badly with the story of a dead dog.
No, I don't think so.
It's the circle of life.
Yeah.
He is probably shit-free on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge.
He probably shits like dog treats, and he rolls around in them now in dog heaven.
Yeah. I hope so.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Maybe he haunts the lady that killed him. And it just smells like shit all the time for her. It's just like stuck in her nostrils.
Awesome.
Maybe.
Or maybe she has like active diarrhea all the time and doctors can't figure out what it is. It's like it can't be explained. She's had all the tests done, but she just always has urgent and active diarrhea. And
especially when she's trapped in elevators. Confined to small spaces like poor Merlin was on the last days of his life. Let's go from talking about that to our episode.
Our topic du jour.
Our topic du jour, which has nothing to do with poop.
Yeah, no, nothing to do with poop.
Unfortunately.
Though maybe it does if you think it's a crock of shit. I don't know.
Oh, this is a big steaming pile of dog shit, maybe. I don't know.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
I think bullshit.
Bullshit.
Well,
sort of.
Yeah.
Some people saw some stuff.
True.
But what that stuff was, we don't know.
We don't know.
This is an unsolved mystery.
I
like aliens, first of all.
Okay, yeah. I think you've wanted to do an alien one. I'm just gonna throw it right out there. I think aliens exist. I think aliens exist, not like how we see sci-fi aliens or shit like that. But I think there is life outside of our planet and solar system because the universe is infinite. And how could we think that we're the only living beings? And that just seems crazy. I don't know what form or shape, or like maybe they're gasish gasish beings.
Yeah.
Is that how you would say that?
Gaseous beings. Gaseous.
Maybe they look like
gaseous clay.
Or like gaseous. A gash in the UK is a vagina, so maybe they're just like giant like labia majoras flopping around the universe.
Queefing around. That's their language, or queefs. Listen, it could be anything. Our little tiny baby brains can't comprehend.
Yeah.
Also, it's okay. So it's sheer like stupidity to think that we're alone in the universe since it's so big, and infinite. And I also think that it's a little self-centered of us to think that we are just constantly visited by aliens.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so too. And like,
I don't know.
I don't know why like I was going to say something rude. I'm just going to say it. I don't know why like the trashiest people are like the ones that see aliens. I just feel like there's like a lot of like non-credible.
Because they're the ones that, well, I have theories about that, which we can get to later.
Like they're the ones that drink Zima until 3 a.m. and then go outside.
No, I think that, well, let's get into it and I'll say what I think.
Okay.
Okay. We're talking about
aliens.
We're talking about aliens. And we're talking about a very specific extraterrestrials. And we're talking about a very specific incident that occurred in 1980. Yeah. So there's been a lot of sightings. Over the
sorry.
No, I was going to say over the millennia.
Yeah. Well, and most people believe in aliens around the world. So
I believe in aliens.
Yeah, you believe in aliens. I believe in aliens, but I don't believe in like maybe what some people believe in as aliens. I don't know. Like the little triangle, kind of ovally triangle shaped heads with the little like vertical eyes and like weird. I don't know if that's what I believe aliens are. who were like kind of humanoid looking and like skinny bodies with like long arms. Like those are fun, but I don't know that that's what aliens are.
I think, yeah, I don't know.
But whatever you define as aliens, I guess, there was a poll done by YouGov in 2015 in the US, the UK, and Germany, and 56% of Germans believe in aliens, 54% of people that were polled in the US believe, and 52% of people that lived in the UK that were polled believed in aliens. So more than half in all countries believed in aliens, and the believers were more likely to be men. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know why that is.
That is interesting.
I don't really have a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of hot spots around the world where sightings are reported. Yep. And I was just looking at a comprehensive list of reportings, like since the beginning, I guess, of when any incidents ever happen, and it goes back to like a written reports of sightings go back as far as 343 BCE. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Which
so that's interesting.
Yeah. Again, some of those sightings could probably be explained by like science and like things that we know now, but who knows what that was.
Who's to say?
Yeah. So there's places all over the world. There's a ton of like hot spots. Some of the biggest ones are Warminster, Wiltshire, England, UK. I don't know.
Wiltshire?
Is that right?
Wiltshire? Wiltshire?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wiltshire.
Wiltshire. That's probably so wrong. Wycliffe Well, Australia. Bonnybridge, Scotland. Chile has a UFO trail. They have a whole trail of Indians. I thought that was fun.
Of Indians?
I was thinking the Trail of Tears earlier.
No. Oh, dear. No. We have a Trail of Tears here in America because we are fucked up.
I'm so tired.
Chile has a fun...
I'm so tired.
Has a fun UFO trail. Me too. Me too.
And I've drank half of this giant beer and it's like really high ABV. Okay, I did not mean Indians.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Mexico City and then Stephenville, Texas. Those are like some hot spots, which I've never heard of any of these places, but maybe that's because I tend to focus my energy on Earthlings and I don't really look into a lot of alien-related stuff.
I think the government keeps it under
wraps.
That's my
conspiracy.
Opinion. I have a lot of conspiracy theories about this shit.
I like it. We'll talk about those.
Okay. Yeah.
But today we're focusing on the UK.
What other steps?
Yeah, today we're focusing on the UK. So I just want to give like a few... we're focusing on the UK, but it's really weird because this event happened on like a US Air Force base. So it's actually like a lot of Americans... Like you could watch videos and stuff where they interview these people later about their sightings, and they're all American dudes. But we're focusing, like it took place in the UK. So I just wanted to say that in the UK, where we mentioned that 52% of people believe in aliens, only 44% of people believe in God, which I thought was interesting. So aliens have outranked God in the UK, which is pretty cool. That's like 33 million versus 27 million, respectively. A lot of people. 1 in 10 people claim to have seen a UFO. That is an unidentified flying object, which I always forget. So that could be literally anything that's unidentified.
Literally anything. That's it's just something in the sky that's flying.
I always think UFO, I think, spaceship. But that's not what it's literally anything that you're like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And then a quarter more men than women claim to have seen UFOs. So again, there's like a pattern with more males, specifically in the UK, claiming to have seen something in the sky. And then 20% of respondents believe UFOs have landed on Earth. So I guess in this context, it is more alien specific. But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. There's like a whole bunch of people that believe in aliens and have maybe even 1 in 10 people has claimed to have seen something.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. So we said we're focusing on the UK, and this specific incident is called the Rendlesham Forest Incident. So Rendlesham Forest is in Suffolk. Suffolk. It's a county in England, and it's like on the east coast of England. So it's kind of like you could draw a direct line from this place on the coast to Amsterdam over the ocean. Cool. Hop, skip, and a jump as a crow flies. What other adages can I use?
I was just thinking, I wonder what the accents are like in East Suffolk.
Yeah.
County.
Suffolk.
They're like, hey, yo!
You sound Italian.
But like East Coast Italian.
Yeah.
They're like.
You mean English?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean like East Coast U.S. Italian. Is there like a twinge of New Jersey in the British accents over there? But like, what would that sound like? It's blowing my mind.
I don't know.
Wait, so if British people are
I don't know.
They're like, I'll have.
What is it?
Tell me something to say. Give me something to say, and I'll try and say it in a British accent, and then I'll say it in an East British accent.
Say, I saw streaking lights in Rendlesham Forest.
I saw streaking lights in Rendlesham Forest. That's not right.
No, I don't think that's the East English accent.
No.
East Anglican.
Hey, yo, I saw lights. I don't know. Jesus.
I saw lights.
Well, that's just Borat.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Let's move on quickly.
Let's move on. Yeah. So people, okay, so this happened around Christmas time in obviously December of 1980. And people have been seeing streaking lights around the area the evening of the sighting. In the early morning hours, around 3 a.m. on December 26, 1980, just outside the Royal Air Force base, or Air Force, RAF,
Royal Air Force.
Of Woodbridge. Yeah, which at the time was being used by the United States Air Force. Some personnel, including Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Charles I. Halt, claimed, okay, really having a hard time here. Claimed to see things they described as a UFO sighting. So, Christmas was the day before. Or it had just been Christmas, and then 3 a.m. on the day after Christmas.
And Lieutenant.
People are still partying, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm like, or you have like heartburn, you know, and you hallucinate or something. Like you wake up in your dreams and you're like, am I dead? Because you just have eaten too much.
Or the eggnog was like raw.
Or like, yeah, it was like chunky. Ugh. Oh my God. Pete and his brother were drinking eggnog. They've been drinking it the last few days. And it's like, apparently it's a thing to age eggnog for a year. So I'm like, oh, ew. You're drinking year-old eggnog? Like, get the fuck out. That's disgusting. I had a sip of that. It was disgusting.
No.
I don't do eggnog.
I'm sorry.
I'm not an eggnog person. I think it's
gross. It's disgusting. It's very thick.
Ugh.
And should not be consumed.
No.
Ever.
Ever by anyone.
No, it's fine if you like eggnog. It's just like
it's
like people who like candy corn.
Oh, I like candy corn. It's fine if you like eggnog or whatever, but like then you also like active diarrhea. So, okay.
Yeah, that's good for you. Yeah. So okay, it's the day after Christmas. Everybody's all Christmas.
It's like
out.
Technically the day after Christmas, but it's like really, really late Christmas Day, you could say. If you haven't gone to bed yet, it's really, really late.
Yeah. Yeah. And so a security patrol near the east gate of RAF Woodbridge saw the lights. And they were apparently descending into the nearby Rendlesham Forest. So the people that saw it one of them was named Peniston. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce his name, but we're going to say it that way.
Yeah, I know for a fact it's
and
not.
And a dude named Burrows.
We don't care.
Yeah. So Peniston and Burrows are the dudes on the patrol, and they go out on the first night to investigate in the woods where they say they saw the lights. And as they attempted to approach the object, it appeared to move through the trees, and, quote, the animals on a nearby farm went into a frenzy.
Oh my God. They were just like shitting and rolling around in it, making noises. Yeah. Dying.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Running around, trying to freaking the fuck out. So once the sun came up, they returned to a small clearing near the eastern edge of the forest, and they found 3 small impressions in a triangular pattern, as well as burn marks, maybe, and broken branches on nearby trees. So there's a lot of conflicting, a lot of conflicting accounts on what was actually seen. Like the police department in the area came by, and they were like, no, this looks like some rabbits dug here. So
yeah.
Nah.
This can easily be explained by nature, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of conflicting info after the initial spotting. Peniston and Burrows end up both adding more onto their stories later. So, who's to say? And what they did report, it was like, why didn't you just say all that when it was fresh in your mind in the report?
Because...
Why are you adding on stuff?
Because you have to have time to marinate on it and then add more and make more shit up.
Yeah, and to make it more fun for people to read.
And to get a better book deal. You fucking buttholes.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So a couple days later, so this was on the 26th that this happened. On the 28th, Lieutenant Colonel Halt goes out to investigate again, same time, 3:00 in the morning. And they see the lights again. So some shit's happening in this area.
Yeah.
And it's duplicating the same thing that happened before.
And he was super high ranking. So people were
yeah.
I think initially maybe people were okay. Okay, Peniston.
Cool. All right, Peniston.
But then when Lieutenant Halt was wait, I'm gonna go check this out. Then he was oh yeah, I saw it too. People were oh okay.
Yeah, and more people saw it, but they don't have good enough last names to mention. So. Yeah. So they go out and they're tape recording what they see as they see it, and so in real time, and they're taking radiation readings, and they're saying what they're seeing on the radiation monitor or whatever. And then they're describing what they see, which is the sighting of flashing lights between trees and star-like objects that hovered and twinkled. And then 2 weeks later, not that day, not the next day, but 2 weeks later, Halt writes a memo in addition to the recording. And so according to his memo, 3 star-like lights were seen in the sky, 2 to the north and 1 to the south, about 10 degrees above the horizon. And he said that the brightest of the star-like things hovered for 2 or 3 hours and then seemed to beam down a stream of light from time to time.
Yeah.
And astronomers have explained this stuff away. But I don't know. That seems pretty freaky. And that's literally all that happened. That was the whole entire incident.
It was just some lights that 3 people saw, or
it was just some lights.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes this story very interesting is that it was part of the United States government, high-ranking people in the government, or person in the government, saw this thing. He wrote a memo, which is just 1 page, but still, it's all submitted to the the government, the U.S. government, and also was submitted to the the Ministry of Defense in England. Mm-hmm. So it's all official. There's no, this isn't bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they saw something for sure.
If it could still be bullshit,
like,
but I mean,
it could
it's
still be
documented,
bullshit,
I guess. So
yeah. I just don't know why a high-ranking member of the United States Air Force would make this shit up.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone does anything, but yeah, it's weird. I mean, I think what's interesting is that it was like a military thing, so they did document it, and like because it's like happening in a territory that's like U.S. military kind of like protected or managed, they like had to look into it because it could be like a national threat, or like, you know, there could be something going on. So
some kind of weird security protocol needs to be followed.
Yeah, which is really funny to me because it's like whether it is like an alien or it's just some random thing or a bunch of people making shit up, like the government had to use like resources to look into this thing, and it's like kind of weird, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
I feel like we missed some really good "halt, who goes there" jokes.
He really halted on his report when he submitted it 2 weeks later.
Yeah. I
don't know.
I would have turned it in sooner, but I didn't want to halt everything I was working on, so I waited.
I didn't want to halt the holiday festivities.
What an asshole. Well, okay.
Yeah. So there.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you going to say? I was just going to say, so the proof that's out there is obviously this recording, this memo, and the people who saw what they saw. So,
yeah. And like, I guess that's hard because eyewitness accounts, even in like a court case or something, they're worth a lot, but also they have to be like trustworthy, and it's best if you corroborate the eyewitness account with actual like hard evidence. And I think that's what's hard in this, because even like, oh, we found like an imprint of a triangle and like some burned trees and stuff, and then people were like, no, it's fine. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and so what makes this like pretty unbelievable is each person's account is very different. Like, Peniston goes on to like add more to his story, and he says he like saw a craft and it had like writing on it, like hieroglyphic, you know, symbols or whatever on it. And the Burroughs dude was like, no, you didn't. Nothing like that happened. Like, we saw some lights for sure. But like, and so they like go like
conflicting,
all conflicting.
Yeah.
And then he adds more about how like there's some time and space continuum, like the time just changed, and like it's like, okay, you know, that's fine if you think that happened, but like it's like over the years it's become more and more embellished, and there's all these like little details that keep filling in randomly. So this is like a really hard story to track, which that's why we're just giving you the basic overview of it. I read a bunch of other accounts, or you know, the more elaborate accounts that have been reported. I mean, there was just up until last year people coming forward with more information. And that's fine. Like, it was a very sensationalized story when it came out. Like, because it was well, I'll get to that in a minute, but because it was like there was eyewitnesses and then high-ranking people in the U.S. government, or Air Force, were like kind of verifying this thing had happened. So,
I think I watched like a video. I can't remember what, like, it was on YouTube, and it was like a documentary that had been done, and it interviewed all these guys and stuff. And what was funny is I think it was Halt. He had no, it wasn't Halt. It was probably Peniston or Burroughs, because they were there the first night. But one of the officers had like taken notes on a notepad while he was like seeing the lights or whatever the first time. And
Yeah.
and one of his like points of proof, I guess, that something weird was happening is that like his like handwriting was like clearer at first, and then the more he saw the lights, it got more like illegible. And I was like, that's nothing, you idiot. Like, you're just writing sloppier because you're freaking out. Like, it doesn't mean anything. I don't know. I just thought that was weird.
Yeah.
And then did you listen to the halt recordings?
I didn't. I read some of the transcript.
Oh, yeah. It was like, I heard a little bit of it in this documentary, and it was mostly just them being like, whoa, light. And then they're like, that's weird. It's just a lot of, whoa, weird.
Yeah. Whoa, gnarly.
That's weird. And then they ran out of tape. And it's like, no, they're not like describing anything. They're not like, oh, it's blue, or it's, hieroglyphics or whatever. Like there's no descriptions of anything. It's just kind of like a really
like I've definitely
bad recording.
It's like super vague. And I've like definitely heard not video, but like audio recording of people like in the military who are like describing things that they're seeing that are like UFOs, and they are very dry, and they're very like, this is what the object's doing. It's accelerating to X speed. It's in this quadrant of the whatever. And they're saying the like all these very, dry, matter of fact description,
because that's what you're trained to do. But that's what you're trained to do.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to, because if like you're coming under fire or whatever, you're supposed to get the news to someone, and it needs to be very specific, and they need to have all the information. You can't just freak out and be like, whoa, oh no, there's like something,
there's some lights. So
I don't know, there's none of this stuff is really proof to me.
No, me neither. I mean, I believe that they saw something for sure, but I don't know that it's proof of like actual aliens. I think maybe they saw some sort of astronomical phenomenon that was weird. And they didn't know what it was, and they had to write a report about it. And then over time, it just became embellished.
Well, and like, because the Suffolk police came to the scene like the next day. Or I think they came twice. They came like the night of and the next day, and they were like, nothing looks that weird here. You guys are like freaking out. And also like, I don't know. I feel like someone would have gotten probed in the butt if it was aliens or something.
No. I mean, maybe.
Someone would have gotten like beamed up to a spaceship, and they would have like, I don't know, just like looked at their genitals or whatever. That's like what aliens do. Totally. They like do butt stuff, and then they drop you back off, and then you're like a crazy person the rest of your life. That's how alien abductions work.
Well, nobody was abducted in this incident.
Well, that's why I don't believe them.
That's why I do believe them. I do believe them because I think, okay, first of all, here's what I'm going to say about aliens. This is some of my final thoughts.
Go ahead.
On this. So I do believe that we've been visited by aliens.
Okay.
I believe they have such high, beyond high concept technology that they don't fucking need to interact with us in any way.
Oh.
It's purely observant at this point.
Or it's like Men in Black, like they like they like make it so that you don't even remember it happened. Yeah. Okay, go on.
And anybody who says that they've been abducted, maybe, and like you were saying in the beginning, all the people that have like these accounts or these eyewitness things are like all the crazy people that have drank too many Zimas or whatever, and they're unbelievable. Those are the ones they let remember things, or like those are the ones that like the military or whatever allow that their information to leak out because they are the unbelievable ones. Like they're the ones that are like,
they're like unreliable.
They're not credible.
Yeah,
they're unreliable. They're not credible.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been instances of people who are very credible, who know what the fuck they're talking about, who have reported sightings. That's what makes me think that, there has been instances of visitations, but I don't like think about technology and the way it works on our timeline. We're so technologically advanced, and our technology grows exponentially. Mm-hmm. So if a civilization out in the universe is, millions of years ahead of us, they have technology that is beyond what we could ever possibly imagine, because it grows exponentially. Like, so what we can't even imagine what our own technology is going to be in like another 100 years.
Yeah, like other civilizations like may have discovered the wheel and then like made a car right after, whereas like us, it took a really long time to like.
No, it might be on the same. Well, no, it might be on the same timeline, but I'm just saying, in terms of growth and exponential knowledge. Yeah. It's like we're behind, we're not, or maybe we're not behind, but they have a different, like, they've branched off in a different way.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. But what I think is super interesting about this is that, and this like feeds into my conspiracy theory mind about aliens, is that what's really funny is the Ministry of Defense was just like, no, we don't need to classify this incident. It's fine. This is bullshit. We don't care. And then the U.S. military was like, yes, we need to have a full report. We need to know all the things. Like, we need to debrief you, blah, blah, blah. And we still are, like, U.S. military still, like, takes, like, sightings very seriously. But, like, I think the British are just like, yeah, no, we don't care. And I thought that was really funny. I don't know.
They're like, yeah, this, we think, when I got close to your officers, I smelled brandy and eggnog, so we good.
No, even like people who are like in the military, like in the United States military, they're just like, no, that's a fun story. Cute. That's cute. That's cute. Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. I don't believe this. I don't know. I mean, maybe I think they saw lights, but I think we said that they astronomers had kind of said, oh, that was like a normal like thing that happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, because other people in the area saw it, and it was kind of like, oh, like the astronomers were like, no, there was like an actual occurrence of like a ball of light or something happening at that time. So, you probably just saw that. And then they're like, no, but there was like beams of light like coming down, and then I'd run up to it, and then it would disappear and it'd show up somewhere else. Maybe. I don't know. It's so hard. There's so many things where like in history people have made shit up, and like the Salem witch trials or whatever. And it just like gets so out of hand, and like hysteria sets in, and then it's like, oh, people feel emblazoned, like maybe Emboldened, yeah. Oh my God, the ilk thing last week and this week, I'm all over the place.
That was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just like so many things where I feel like people are just like, oh, now I feel emboldened to like, oh, add my thing too, or what? I don't know. It just is weird to me.
Well, that's why I think this is like the most conspiracy theorist thing I'm ever going to say. So I think the United States government loves it. Oh. Because whatever real things that have actually happened, you mix in all this, like, all these weirdos. It's like, what's real? Nobody knows, so.
And you have to think, like, with the CIA and with, is it M6? What is the, like...
MI6?
MI6, yeah. In the UK. Yeah. Those types of government, like arms of the government, are so good at what they do, and most people never find out about them, and like, they're doing things to help us stay safe or help us grow technology or whatever. Like, there's so many things maybe happening that we don't even know. Like, we have we haven't heard about it. We have no recollection of it. So, yeah, I don't know.
And whether it's aliens or not, or like a foreign government testing weird shit and trying to like freak people out, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I love it. I love it all. I love the uncertainty.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'm pretty certain that I don't believe them, but
oh yeah.
But it also makes me want to look at other things, because I don't think we said that this Rendlesham Forest is like called it's called the Roswell of the UK. Roswell, New Mexico is like it's infamous for like alien activity or whatever. I've never looked really into that. I never watched the show on the WB when that was around in the 90s. I don't have any like knowledge of Roswell, and I'm like interested in it now. I want to read about it. So maybe we'll do more alien stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love all the stuff. Yeah, we'll do more alien stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But this was a good start. This is a good safe one that has like, it's very limited in its like scope of what's true. And all the rest of the surrounding stuff is kind of just like, that's probably bullshit. So if you'd like to learn more about it, there's tons of stuff out there. But this is a good just like first kind of pass at it. And yeah, I don't know. I hope that all those people are doing okay.
What do you think of when I typed into Google Rendlesham Forest that it pre-populated hoax? What do you think about that?
That there was people who claim that they did do a hoax because
ew, like people took credit for it?
Yeah, there was like a couple dudes who came forward like years later who were like, yeah, we totally did this as a prank. We just like modified a cop car and tried to freak out people. And of course it's like close to a United States Air Force base that they should not, if it was a hoax, they should not have done that, because look at all the time and resources that had to go into like reporting it, and like freaked out a bunch of like probably, well-meaning people, not to mention the livestock.
Oh, the poor cows.
I know.
But it was just some UK teens getting their holiday jollies off.
Yeah. I mean, think about it.
Yeah. I also thought, like, what about if drones existed? Like, what if this was like an early prototype of a drone?
Maybe.
Yeah. But then, who knows?
Maybe
it was like other people on the Air Force Base with an early prototype of drones fucking with like the dumber officers like Peniston and being like, oh, this is going to be really funny. But then they were like, oh no, we don't want to get in trouble. So then they like were like, yeah, it's aliens.
And then they realized, oh shit, like a high ranking officer saw this and now he has to like write a full report about it. So we better not say shit.
Yeah. So then they're like, ooh, we don't want to get in trouble.
Well, there's another base that's close by. I forget the name of it, but there was, I don't know if it was in use or not, or if it was just like for storage or whatever of aircraft, but there's another base nearby. So maybe they were doing some shit too. Who knows?
I think we've solved it.
The plot thickens. And this is the stuff. This is like all the like external kind of stuff swirling around it that keeps it going, that keeps people interested in it and makes it like a fun thing for people to tack on. Yeah. We just like riffed on like all these like little things that we know about, and there's like probably a lot of other information out there. I know there's other information out there, but whether it's made up or not is TBD. Yeah.
But I think we've done enough.
Or it's determined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's TBD or it's just D. Active D.
It's just
actively
D.
Determined.
Actively deed.
Well, I'm done, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. It was fun. I liked it. I loved it, actually.
Yeah.
I love Mackenzie, and I'm so glad she gave us this topic. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And we have a couple other patrons at that, patrons at that level. So we'll get some other sponsored episodes by our patrons soon. Mm-hmm. And if you'd like to be a patron or a patron, then go ahead and visit it at our Patreon at DTFU Pod. Oh, wait, no. patreon.com/DTFU podcast.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow us on like Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, it's everything's at DTFU podcast. And you can always send us an email, and that's dtfupodcast@gmail.com. Or you can go to our website and submit something that way. If you want to be anonymous, you can just put in a fake email address, fake name, and submit it on our little thing there. And that's dtfupodcast.com.
Oh, and you guys, if you're iTunes listeners, you could always leave us a review and a rating, and we love it. But definitely share with a friend.
Definitely share with a friend.
I think
we're on all the things like Stitcher, Google Play. So if you have a friend who's like, I don't have an iPhone, then shoot him a link to our website, which has all of the ways you can listen.
Yeah. Oh, so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. More alien stuff to come, probably.
Yeah, more alien stuff. Just more, I'm getting really excited that it's the holidays because we're going to have some fucked up holiday stuff, which is really cool. Because the holidays are fucked up.
If you listen to last week's episode about Black Friday stuff, and you could probably understand if you worked in retail how fucked up Black Friday is. So, or if you haven't listened to that yet, go ahead and give it a listen.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Let's get into the holidays here.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.